Welcome to Subramani. Have you ever chased the points that you get on your credit card? Is it a freebie? Is it a free lunch? Is it just some fun to do, or is it worth the effort that you put in for getting those points? Right, so it's a good question to ask. This is not I'm not trying to say how many credit cards you should have, etc. That answer is very clear, maybe one or two, not more than that, especially if you are a busy person and you have good credit. You don't need more than one or two credit cards, right? So I'm not even getting into that. I'm just saying, chasing those points which you get on your credit card. I'm sure there are many videos saying how to do it. I'm not getting into how to do it. I think you should know. If you want to do it, there are other videos which are available from people who run credit card specials. I'm just saying, for an ordinary person, is it worth doing? Is it worth the effort? So these are some of the conditions which I think you should fulfill for chasing those points. First is, you should have great credit. Only when you have great credit do good cards come to you. And you have to have a high income. Now this is this is quite a dichotomy, because some of the best cards, maybe Diners or those kind of cards, are available only beyond the income of, say, at least 20 lakhs. Maybe 25 lakhs, and you have to be good enough to be invited to it. You can't just apply for it, right? So they can say, they'll just reject you. Now, so you should have the willingness to put in the effort to earn this kind of money or earn these kind of points. Second, if your income is really high, let's say you're in the 1 crore plus income, will you spend time on doing something like this? You have to be then retired. If I really have a lot of time to do some of these things if I want to, but I'm too, I'll not do it because I'm not even eligible for doing it. I'll tell you why. So you should be willing to sit and apply, look at the cards, read the conditions, because one condition you don't read or you make a mistake and suddenly all the effort will be undone. So you should be willing to put in that kind of effort. You should be, because you have a good credit score, a lot of good cards will be available to you. You should be spending a lot on credit cards itself. If you are the person who just goes to the neighborhood hotel to eat and maybe pays a 300 rupee bill or a 400 rupee bill, then it is not even worth these kind of cards, because it is worthwhile only if you go out, entertain and run up reasonably big bills on your card, at least say 5-10 lakhs a year. If you're spending, maybe it is getting reimbursed by your company, or you're spending it personally. Only then do you accumulate sensible points. Which card is the best to accumulate? Those cards which gives you points and which you against which you can buy air tickets because for every point they treat every point as 1 rupee. And that I find it very useful when I use Diners card. I mean, Diners card is completely useless from an acceptance point of view. Very many places it won't get accepted. You can't buy too many things with it, so it's not a great thing. But yes, it gives a lot of lounge access and it gives you good points, and those points can be exchanged for travel tickets, right? And you can also book tickets on their own website, so that gives you a chance to use those points. So these are the advantages. Of course, there are disadvantages also, that because the acceptance is poor. So you have to have a good credit score. You have to be willing to put in a lot of effort to do all this kind of stuff. You have to pay on time. Make no mistake about this, because for doing all this, if you don't pay on time, then all the interest and the tax on that, the GST on the interest, etc. is sorry, it is interest, there is service charge, then there is GST on the service charge. All that put together can be very hurtful. So that is not worth the effort if you are not a person who will keep track of all your cards. I mean, I just saw a YouTube video of somebody from US who's 107 cards. Are you ever going to be able to juggle that many cards? Family of 4 or 5, they hold 107 cards and they juggle. I'm sure some software must be available allowing you to juggle that many cards. So if you're not willing to put in that kind of effort, then don't even bother, because all cards have to be paid on time, and on all cards you should have a minimum spend. You may have some medical insurance also available on all those cards, so that could also be useful. So some of the advantages are there, but you have to be willing to put in the effort. I mean, a person earning 1 crore, is he going to put so much of effort to earn, say, 100,000 points? I don't know. But if you have fun doing it, if you have a good score, if you are sure you will pay on time, and you are a big spender, I mean, you could go and buy your car, right? You want to buy a car worth 30 lakhs, maybe 1 lakh you can pay by credit card, 2 lakhs you can pay the advance by credit card, right? Those things. You can pay your insurance premium by credit card. If you are running a business, you could get a business card and pay the, I think you can even pay advance checks on the credit card. So some of these things, some will get you points, some will not get you points. But yeah, all these payments, etc., you can make by credit card. That is a big, big use. I mean, annually, if you're paying 4-5 lakhs as insurance premium, you can make all those payments. So there are some ways of accumulating points, and you should know how to accumulate points. But yes, for those people who are big travelers, there could be a lot of discounts. Those who play golf, there could be discounts. You could get fantastic lounge access. In fact, some of these cards give you infinite lounge access in India, and maybe about 7 or 8 lounge access internationally. So these kind of advantages you have apart from the points that you get. I have only one card, which is a Diners card, which I use for lounge access, which is not very efficient, but I get it free. So for me, it's not so bad. I'll get it maybe for some more years, but I'm not a big spender on the credit card. So except insurance premium and things like that, I don't really spend much on a credit card. So I'm not a good candidate for that, but that should not stop you from using it for your airline tickets, for your eating out. Like I said, even if these are expenses going to be reimbursed by your company, see what are your company's rules. So then it is worth doing it. Would I do it? No, I will not do it. I don't do it because I'm too lazy to chase, and I'm not a big spender on credit cards. I don't spend, other than insurance premium, I don't have any. Maybe I bought 2 laptops last year. Other than that, you could buy a phone, you could buy laptops, you could buy a camera. So those kind of purchases, if you're going to make, then it is worth it. Otherwise, and of course you need to have the financial discipline to pay on time. Then you have to be a big traveler, big eating out, you doing a lot of shopping in shops where you use the credit card, right? So if you're doing all that, it's very important also that you don't have a high income. If your income is high, then I'm sure you're not wanting to spend time on doing such stuff. So combination of all this, you can decide whether you should be chasing these points, but some of these points are worthwhile, and every time you see some new card will be available, so you could apply for that card. You could get some add-on bonus points. That add-on bonus points can sometimes be as high as 10,000-15,000 rupees, especially on the paid cards, and that is immediately translated into bonus points. So once you have that as bonus points, you can use that for travel or things like that. But then if you're not a traveler, if you're not a big spender, if you don't eat out in hotels, if you don't buy clothes very often or some things very often, household items, whatever, so you could even be buying grocery, right? So all those things if you're doing, then maybe a card is useful, but otherwise I don't know whether you should be doing it. And I can tell you who should not be doing it. That's also important. Apart from knowing who should be doing it, who should not be doing it is somebody who has a bad credit score, because the more and more cards that you apply for, the more and more I mean, it goes against your credit score. So that is one thing which you don't want to. You have a high demand on your time. If there is a lot of demand on your time, that you're very busy, you should not be doing this, because you will surely miss out some payment, etc. For example, if you have an X bank card and you have a bank account with Y bank, that Y bank will not allow you to set up an automatic payment. Of course, you can go to a payment app or something like that, but you have to be careful about that. So if you're not disciplined enough to do that, I'm not talking about not having the money or not having the money. Those who don't have the money should definitely not be doing it, because it's very easy to get lured into saying, oh, pay by EMI and things like that, and you're hurting your score. Right, so then you have to be careful as to why you should not be doing it. If you don't have too much money, then you're not going to spend much anyway, and you're in some kind of a financial trouble. These are the kind of people who should not be doing, right? But these are the people who end up doing. Thank you.